a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hey viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. Of course, it's a sporting segment here on Friday morning, Friday 14th July 2023. I just heard from Oprah and Jorisha Netballers. We're going to join the conversation now with Mr. Selwyn Melville. And it's all about women this morning. Good morning to you, Mr. Melville.
You know, they told me when I was a kid I was a ladies' man. I didn't realize I was coming to a story there.
Yeah,
Marcus, good morning and blessings with all the dressings.
yeah,
How
yeah,
you
of
doing?
course. You're looking good,
All
man. You're
right.
looking really good. I like the haircut.
Well, hey, I got personal. I took it off. I was once like you. So
Yeah,
I had it to offer. And then I took it off.
yeah, fantastic. I see you have one of the
Yeah.
Soca Warriors apparel there, looking nice too as well. So we're talking
Yes,
we're
thank
talking
you, man.
women football this morning.
Uh-huh. Blessings. Um, yeah, thanks very much for the opportunity to join you all today to speak about football in the sense of women. And we are paying attention to Tobago. So, coming in the month of November, once we get the full support from the Football Association in Tobago, we will be hosting the Germans women's football team to a game here against a Tobago women's team at the Dwight York Stadium. And everything is basically in place. The Germans have great interest in coming to Tobago to play this game. And we're thinking it's going to be historical. That'd be probably the first time we would have mainly a women's Tobago team playing against a foreign team in an international football game. It's a friendly international. The Germans will have a mixture of their veteran players, young veterans, and also some young ones to play against a Tobago team. We are hoping that we get the best of Tobago women. A lot of those players that we have from Tobago, because when people think of a national team, well, there are Tobago players who are involved in the national team. But here, what we'll see is that we have a number of Tobago players who are based internationally, both playing in colleges and in professional leagues. Well, hopefully we put things together and we get a quality Tobago team on the lineup. So on that day, on the 18th of November at Dwight York Stadium, we will get probably the best of Tobago showing up for the first time against an international team. And then when you get the Germans coming, and their interest is very great as to how they could get here to Tobago and play, we are looking forward to something great. Now, the great thing about the Germans is that they have said in coming to Tobago, they're excited to come and play. And they will not charge a fee for the game. But what they'll do is, for the Tobago choice for them, they will then decide which charity in Tobago they'll make a donation, or where their fee is supposed to be, they will donate that to a charity in the Sister Island, Tobago. We've been talking to.
What do you see a match of this nature doing for Tobago in itself, where sport tourism is concerned, and of course exposure for our Tobago-based players? Because I like the idea that you're focusing on Tobago-based players. What's the big Tobago-based players? Those who are playing probably in Trinidad, in the Wolf League, and also around the world. You rightly mentioned that we have players around the world that are from Tobago, Tobago-born players. I shouldn't say Tobago-based, but Tobago-born players. What does this mean for them specifically, and of course for the island of Tobago?
Well, then, as we put in TV, put an isolation camera on Tobago itself, what it has to offer. Now, normally when anything happens, it is Trinidad that is in the front office, and Tobago by accident is mentioned. But then, as real Tobagonians, we want to make sure, because out there a long time, and we see a lot happening. If you look in the men's team and you look back at the history, we've led the way in many ways. One of the best players coming out of the country is Dwight York. And so too we have Yaya, one of our best female players, and she's playing in Turkey. So we have quality, and it's all about blending these things together. Now, you made an interesting point there about tourism and all that. So this is bigger than just a football game. This is about getting Tobago to be exposed. Now, when the Germans come, let me tell you the story of what they're doing. They're coming here with a broadcast team of 20. And for the game, there will be a 10 camera shoot of that game to send to Germany and other European countries to get a glimpse of what's happening. Now, in addition to that, they will have their players will give something back to the Tobago people. But other than that, there's a documentary that they will be producing, and that documentary is to highlight Tobago. And 2 weeks after that, 2 weeks after that, there will be the carnival will be taking place around that time. 2 weeks after the carnival was supposed to be the game against the Germans. So they're looking forward now to getting a good taste of what Tobago and its carnival has to be. And now there's something that's they're revamping. The Condor is now coming back to Tobago, an arrangement with the government to get back an activity on the island. So on that, the first flight, basically, I think will come in on the 4th or the 7th of November. And on the 14th of November, we probably would have the Germans, if we get all the clearances and things with the authorities like the Association of Football. We've been having discussions. So it's only a matter of time before they respond. The Germans are waiting on that. They've been very, very at forefront with that. It's July already, and they have called. We had a discussion with the stadium and in Tobago, and what will happen in the sense of the uplink for sending a coverage of the game out to Europe. So they are very much on play with what's happening, and they are doing everything possible to ensure that this game is played in Tobago. And the only reason it fails is that the business community and the governments and the football association fail to do what is expected of them. But where the Germans are concerned, they're doing everything to ensure that we highlight Tobago and get the best of it. Now they're also hoping to bring some fans down to support the game as well. So not just the German footballers who are coming into Tobago, but they're hopefully to bring their fans in, fans from Trinidad, Tobago fans, and Tobago, we love the football. And if the women are playing and it's a first time thing and a historic thing, we know that Tobago will come out in the highest order to ensure that they show quality for the players and also setting up the future right for other things to come. And it's going to open some interesting doors for things to take place into Sir Island Tobago.
Yeah, and what's your particular involvement in the scheme of things? Is it that you would have been the one to initiate such a match?
Well, Marcus, what's happening here is that based on my experience as a broadcaster, I've developed friendships around the world. And I have this friend in Belgium. His name is Robert Paltiel. He is the one who's been pushing the whole thing, along with a gentleman called Wolfgang in Germany, who is also an official, and he works with the Bundesliga. And that period at that time of the year, in November, the German Bundesliga will not have much of an activity. And so the door is open for them to really come to Tobago and do their thing. So Wolfgang is very much involved as a commentator. He's heading off to Australia and New Zealand with the Germans for the World Cup. And so we have very good support coming to us and to ensure that we get a good flying start. So that's why it's critical how we behave there in Tobago and see that something that is very, very critical and very important to our development. We've been behind the 8 ball for too long, and now there's the opportunity. So my role, as you ask, is basically to assist in this happening and making it, because being Tobagonian, and I've been in Trinidad since I was 21, I'm a big man now, and what we are seeing happen is that Tobago has been a forgotten place, and there's so much to offer in the whole arrangement with the Twin Island state. But yet we are a second thought and an afterthought. And what we're trying to do now is to bring Tobago into the fore to show that of all the years that we have given, is now that the time we start to receive in all this, and to ensure that we are there. And nicely, I can tell you that people like Frankie Mohammed and Wendell Moore and Shaq McCleskey, they're all coming together to assist in this process to ensure that this thing happens with Tobago, because they see it as a shining example of what Tobago can expect
Yeah.
in the future.
Fantastic, fantastic, Mr. Selwyn Melville. Sounds really, really good. And I'm hoping that all the elements they come together, TFA, whatever it is that we have to put forward here in Tobago to make it happen on November 18th. Because of course I would love to see Yaya play for Tobago, Asha James and all those players who are out there performing. They play for a Tobago team. Yes, we are still Trinidad and Tobago, but to see them play for Tobago against the powerful Germans, it'll be really, really a sight to behold. Mr. Melvin, we have ended our interview. In fact, we have come to the end of our interview this morning. I want to thank you so much for bringing with us and sharing with us this opportunity. And I want to wish you all the best in your endeavor. And of course, you always have a space here on Tobago Updates to share, whatever initiative you have regarding sport in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you so much.
I look forward to that, my brother. Thank
Yes.
you very much. And one of these days we'll end up in the cricket field. And you said I'm a fast bowler, but I am. And I hope you can face up to my deliveries.
I welcome that. Yes.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy. Thanks very much for
And
the
of course,
opportunity.
viewers, that was Mr. Selwyn Melville, a colleague of mine in the sport journalism world. Of course, talking about women's team or women's football